Alright, in this video I'm going to be talking about changing the starter motor on the Ford Focus 2015 model TDCI. So that runs from 2014-2018, so that's Mark 3.5. Now, starter motor failures can be difficult to diagnose, as you'll see in my previous video where I kind of work what is going on. But once you kind of figure it out, it's not the most difficult in theory that I've done before to change it, because usually the start mode is fairly accessible. But to buy the correct one, make sure you have the correct kind of information. Look on your logbook or vehicle's owner slip, and it should say on there what engine it is. Now for mine it is the X-Ray Whiskey Delta Bravo Whiskey. So there it is, the XXDA, that's not the one. XXDC is not the one. XXDB, this is the one for me. No, that's not the one, sorry. XWDB, so this one here. So there's my engine code. Gives you the firing order 1342, stage 6, tells you all the bore, and they're kind of almost similar. Just check this, mine's 120 horsepower, 88 kilowatts. So this is the right one for me. So XWDB, from that, knowing that and finding that out, looking in your logbook, and I'm just using this as an example, this information should be on your logbook or the vehicle's owner's certificate. You can search eBay. I think these, I haven't checked with Ford, but these probably run at about I would have thought somewhere £100 plus, probably not over 200, but 100. I'm just guessing though. But here I picked up a nice one. I didn't pick this one up. I think it's had 16,000 miles and it was £23. I paid extra postage, £8.50, so it arrives really quickly, but I could have just stuck with it if I had plenty of time. The 23, so it was fairly cheap. So here's one I found. Look, here it is, XWDB 1.5 diesel manual. So 2015 is exactly the right one. It's only 34 by now, postage free, and check the mileage. Obviously, there was another one I saw earlier. There was 600 miles. It was made in Poland instead of France. These should be made in France. It looked really clean. I thought didn't look quite right, so I didn't pick that one. I just looked like ones that had been used, but not too high in mileage. Anyway, from there, I'm just going to go through the quick procedure according to the Ford ETIS IDS e-manual that you can download and get it working. It's a bit of a tricky one, so these days probably my advice is to go for the Haynes one. Haynes is much more straightforward, but this is very interactive. If you get this work, it's worth it. So here it is, starting system, Duratorque TDCI 88120. So clicking on this, so starting system here, diagnosis and testing. Let's see what information it gives. Fuses, visual inspection, check, I did that. Wiring harness, I didn't do that. Electrical connectors, I can check that in a minute, but I've just went and bought a new one anyway. Now, it's a good point. I would say starting a car has become more and more difficult over the past year, and I noticed it as little tiny things. Like I go to press the start button, I depress the clutch with my foot as usual. Go to press the start button. Usually, as soon as you press it, engine comes on. But now, over last year, and it was a very intermittent to start with, which means every occasion it did that. Go to press the button, and it just didn't work straight away. Nothing. So I switched the engine off, pressed the button again, turned everything off, opened the door, closed the door, everything powered off, did it again, and it worked. So it began with little things like that. And then over time, it wouldn't work 2 or 3 times. A month or two later, and a month or two later after that, 2 or 3 times, until it starts. Look at my other video. I went to do the suspension on my car, the tracking, and it just failed. It just would not start at all. It just wouldn't start. I got the car onto the road, ready to do some work, and wouldn't start at all. So I went into a bit of a diagnosis panic, if you were like, sort of like a controlled panic, if you like. My head went round a little bit. I thought, what the earth's going on? Would not start. Could it be anything really serious? Put the scan tool on it. Scan tool, bi-directional scan tool, didn't really tell me much. Gave me loads of errors, but I couldn't really still figure it out. I went through the old basics. I did check the fuse. Didn't check the wiring harness. Electrical connectors. This is the connectors to the actual starter motor. I haven't checked that. If it was all rusty and crusty, of course, clean it and put it back. It probably would work. There's more electricity going through. Check the relays. Switches, haven't really checked. Battery junction box. Engine junction box. I know my battery's good. Transmission range sensor. Automatic no, they don't apply. Keyless vehicle. Yes, it is key. No, it's not keyless, but it's like I need the key with it to open the door. Battery, check that. Starter motor, did check that. They were good. Powertrain control. This is the area that kept coming up on my scan tool. But at the end of the day, I kind of ignored that and went for more of the basics. And what I did was check my other video. Like I said, pulled the relay out that connects to the starter motor, and it's the furthest one. Now I'm struggling to remember which one it is now. I think it's relay 15. Imagine this is you're looking into the, standing in front of the car, looking in the one that's all the way on the left furthest corner towards the back of the car. That one there, that's 15, I think. On this model, this make, it is this one, which is the starter motor relay. Pulled that one out. And I know for earlier the Mark 3, not the Mark 3.5, it's one down here. I think it's relay 13 instead of relay 15. But check my other video anyway, just to double check. I pulled that out and I did the usual kind of not short circuit, but bypassed the two controls and went straight for the chucking in loads of straight current to the starter motor. I heard a little click instead of, the diagnosis is when you press on the button without doing this, before you do this, when you press on it, the relay clicks but nothing happens. Clicks and nothing happens. Now this time, forget the button bit, I am just shoving power straight into the starter motor, and I just sort of, instead of just clicking, it won't click anymore because the relay's not there, but it just chugged a little bit, just moved a tiny bit. Okay, and I thought, oh, hang on a minute, this is definitely connected to the starter motor. In the old days, if you have access to the starter motor, what you can do is just hit it with a hammer to loosen it. Okay, what I did instead was fully charge a battery pack, booster pack for low batteries, charge the car up again. So it was like about 12.7 volts, the battery in the Ford Focus. Bypassed it again with the extra power boost. Basically, it's extra energy, right? Extra energy shoved in there, bang! It loosened up the start motor, and then thereafter I could switch the engine on as normal, put the relay back, and it started up normal, and I can move my car back onto the driveway, and I'm going to ramp it up and take this off. So sorry, a bit of a long start, but it's necessary, isn't it? It's necessary. I'll make these videos as short as I can, but it's necessary. So the steps: move the engine cover. Okay, for more light, I agree with take the engine cover off. So this jack the car up, disconnect the batteries, refer to battery disconnect. So take off the negative battery terminal. Might be worth taking off the positive as well. Take both of them off. Air cleaner, I could do that, but now my mind is wondering why the air cleaner. Okay, that's not too difficult, air cleaner. And this thing here, that should be the fuel filter. Now it's kind of pointing to the fuel filter next. 5 Newton meters. There's some sort of fastener there. Alright, so with concentrating on the fuel filter, which I think this is what this is, disconnect two of these bolts, take that off. According to this, there is the fuel filter there, disconnected. and take off this nut here, undo it from there, and they're all only about, so the other one was, these are 8 Newton meters, 14 Newton meters, so I may have to write these down in case I have to come back to it. Torque 10, 14, 10, 10. So there is fuel filter vanished. So do I have to take the fuel filter off? I don't really like taking fuel filters unless there's a hand pump to prime the fuel. I don't like doing it. But if it's saying I have to do it, I may have to do it. But I'm just bearing all this in mind. That's the clutch connection cable. And I'm thinking, wow, why all this? I think this basically says move the cable out of the way. I think this is the clutch cable. Going down, there's 2 bolts here apparently. That's 25 Newton meters. These 2 bolts. Engine cover off underneath. Not engine cover, underside cover off. Then you can get to the starter motor. I'm thinking, wow, disconnect obviously. Should be 3 bolts here. Number 1's at 25 Newton meters. Number 2's at 12 Newton meters. Alright, so that's how you get the starter motor off according to the official information. I had a look on one of the 1 litre Ford Focus. It didn't have. It just basically went from here, none of the top bit. So the only way I could do it is find out. But what I will do, because unless I don't want to keep coming up and down the stairs to reboot this to check it. We'll write these down. Let's check the car and have a look. Once the car has been jacked up and put on stands, these are my favourite jacking points here. With a light on it. I've got my 2.5 ton jack, sorry, 3 ton axle stand here, and there's a bolt there. And you cut a little, shave a little hole in the wood. That's not resting on there. Notice that this is resting on the bolt really, on the subframe. And my backup 2.5 ton here on the normal jacking points. Now for the safe, of course, the other side is the same. So I've got backup jack stands, and because I work on a slope quite often, I've got 3 20 kilogram breeze blocks on each wheel. So of course my parking brake's on. So it's right time next to take the battery terminal off, negative off, taped it up. Should be black tape because it's negative. And this one I've taken a positive off as well this time. Take the lid off the battery holder, and I'll put the cap on for my kind of spare battery, so that's okay as well. Double make sure handbrake is on nicely. The extra tug, that's okay as far as it'll go. So under tray off next. Right, this under tray is really easy to take off. You need a T30, torque 30, and you need trim removal tool. You need something to catch all the plastic lugs in, and usually I think it's 3 at the front, 3 at the back. Let's do this 1, let me count to 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, yeah, 3, and 2 fasteners, plastic just to the side. Alright. First job, obviously, before I dismantle anything, is to check the spare part I got looks like what it should be. I can't really see properly what it is in the car, because the view is kind of obscured. And it's in a funny spot. I'll kind of show you in a minute. This looks like a starter motor. I mean, just in case it was, I don't know, something else like a fuel pump or something. You never know. So it looks like the one I saw on the internet. Well packaged. Okay. It's AV. Get my light on it. Have I got my light? Oh, I should have switched that on. Sorry about that. To switch that on. Made in France. AV6N11000GD. So this engine, I think, is the XWDB, I think. So So Ford Focus 1.5 TDCI, 2015 Smart 3.5. Just check obvious things like the teeth there. Yes, the teeth are there. It isn't cracked off, because you know you could be doing yourself some damage. Do some real obvious stuff. There's a dowel. I just noticed there's a dowel. So expect there'll be a dowel on the other one I'm going to take off. The nut is there. I'm just screw that back on a bit better. I might just clean the terminals just before I put it on. Put a bit of WD-40 in there. A little bit of wire brush on that. So there should be a connector. There's that. And where would the connector go? Maybe it's just one cable and no socket. There's nothing to plug in. Alright, okay. Let's clean that. Just screw that a little bit again. I should use contact spray, but I haven't got any. That goes on. Just a bit of a cautionary kind of thing. So these things all make a difference. There's, you know, the resistance on here. If there's rust, will cause it not to conduct electricity very well. It's something like this, just logical. Second hand, it's only 16,000 miles, and I do recommend. If it's 16,000, why not? If it's like for my Honda Civic, and that's, you know, if there's a car that's done 100,000, I'm probably not worth it. 16,000, yeah. Buy a new part, or like a remanufactured one, for that sort of money. Right. Okay. Leave that in there. Next approach has got to be done from above part of it, because this fuel filter needs to be removed. Because two of the bolts are hidden by the fuel filter, so not so good. Now the start motor is here. If I get some more light on that, you can see it. It is down there. Right, from underneath, it is. I've got plenty of light underneath. Too much light. See it there? I can see that's how it is. That's how my example is. They come with the spare starter motor. What I mean by that is I'm dead tired, and if I'm not making any sense, I do apologise. There's a bolt there, there's a nut. I'm looking for the cable connection. Check for any rust. I mean, if it was rusty, just clean it. It might be it. It might save you a whole load of trouble. Save me a whole load of trouble. So that's a good view of it. Oh, I see. That nut holds down like a plastic shroud. Okay. One nut is taken from underneath, and two is from above. So not a lot of room. Okay. So what I touched earlier with the veins is not it, unless it is it. I'm just going to use my hand and feel it. So it's definitely this thing here. This thing here. I can see one nut just in the corner, just there. Well, my middle finger is pointing. Alright, okay. Enough of that. I think it's one of them jobs that become much easier when you remove things out of the way. I think, and I hope. And one of the things is to get this off. Get this out. I'm going to use a separate video for that. How to remove the fuel filter for Focus 1.5 TDCI Mark 3.5. I think if you had like a 1 litre version, you don't even need to remove this. The starter motor is very accessible, but not in this case. Alright then, check my other link or other video how to get. Right, with the fuel filter removed, bag should be covering these 2 lines, and I've got the fuel filter over here covered in the bag. Next thing is quite easy. According to the manual, pop these 2 out. Fuel, well, just one probably, not that one. The fuel connects to the fuel pipe. This fuel pipe here. And the other one is as well. So disconnect both of them, that's easy. Don't stretch them or anything because they're connected to other things. And after that, it says, that's out of the way, there's a nut at the back. See that nut? I'm going to get a better torch. See that nut there that I'm shining up? With a bit sticking out with the thread. That connects to this bracket. The bracket needs to come out. Right, there's 3 more nuts to take the bracket off. And there's one here. Just here. Better use some sort of pointy. By the way, the other one I took off, that one there, that was 13. There's a funny little pot here, look, I'll show you. I can't work out what this is. It's some sort of drainage system. Just here. See that like a little funnel? See that thing, it moves? It just sort of fits in like that and you can take it off. How on earth that never comes out? I have no idea. Why wouldn't it not bounce off? It's not fastened on or anything. It just sits there like that. See it? Don't know if I'm showing you right, but just there. See that? So, oh, yeah, I'm afraid if I drop that, is it going to just disappear like Timbuktu? Is it connected to anything? I'm gonna kind of move that out of the way and fasten it somewhere, because I don't know where it's going to fall to. I don't even know what it is. Got any idea? Sensible ones? Leave a comment. So the fasteners are here. I'm pointing here and here. So it looks like 8, looks like a 10, looks like a 13 again. And there's this thing to worry about, and then I've got to push this one out on the inside, the plastic thing, and then there's an equivalent one plastic thing over here. And that bracket should come out. There's a very sneaky number 8 down here, you see it? I got it? Yep, see it? In the middle of the screen. So it should be 4 bolts. I think that's number 8, I'm pretty sure it's number 8. So this pipe just pops out, and this one needed like an angled pliers to get it out. And it's kind of all loose now. They made this really secure. I don't know why. One easy nut to do. Make sure it goes in that way. So, oh dear. That thing, no, it ain't that metal bracket, but why? Why all that? So I'm careful not to knee, because this is so far back, not knee on the flaming body of the lens. The lights, of course. Try and knee on the structure. Right, okay. What does it look like? Now, looks like this. Better be a reason for doing all this, because I can't see the starter motor from here. You? I can't. That's a very good reason. Right, to make this a bit easier, take the air box out, take this pipe out, gives you more room to look. And things are usually easier when you get more room, to be honest. Right, with the air box removed, it becomes much easier to see what I'm doing. How stupid of me, I should have done that ages ago. Right, I can see, you can see the bolts. I know if I use my pointy stick, trying to light this. Oh, I'll never get to it. Never show you from here. There's one in there. There's 3 bolts along the bulkhead of the transmission. Not that one, but that one is twinned with one even further back, which is down there, right in the corner. Right in the corner of the upper transmission. And there's a stupid rubber thing in the way as well. Like a rubber cover. You better see it from above. See it? Where my pointer is pointing. Hopefully you'll better see it. Don't use a mobile phone to watch this, use a computer. See that? There's that last one. Right, I've decided to try and take the battery out, so I won't lock the door. If I can take this side piece out, this plastic cover off, leave this one here, that will make a world of difference. So I can access it sideways. That last rusty nut down there on this battery tray, use one of these reversible nut extractors for 10mm. That thing was really rusty. You're going to get the same thing if you've got the same car. You need the same tool. And yours would be rusty as well. Hopefully this tray comes out. 2 more, this nut and then the other 2. Right, there's so many nuts and bolts. There's a 10mm just here holding the sensor in. You should try and keep different magnetic trays. I've got a tray for this battery only with the nuts. Yeah. I've got a tray that goes round and round. 4 different magnets, different sections. There's probably a washer in there as well. No washer, right, okay. 10mm nut. Let's see. Hopefully, I remember all this stuff. See, I just need this out because I can bloody see it. Take that out, don't need that in there. Dreadful. Okay, I didn't drill too deep. I wasn't sure whether or not I drilled through anything of significance. And it looks like I've not. Why is it always leaking on there? I don't understand why. Because it's watery. Well, it's a battery case. Now I've never met a battery. I've never known a battery case to be so difficult to take off. Like a battery holder. Usually it's just a bit of plastic. They just come falling out, don't they? This changes the game completely because I can see reach so much more. Look. See that? And look, I get my point now. There's one. There's one there. And my pointer is. there's one, and there's one on the corner. It's got a cable over it. So this clutch cable will have to come out. The clutch cable you just pull out, is what I mean. I've taken the clutch cables off before, and it's not the one nearest this side, it's the other one you want, because that's the one that's really in the way. And you can just pop out. Get the end, pull it out, wedge it out, and it should pop up. Saying that it didn't come. Okay. I wonder if I need to do that at all. Have I got enough visual on there? Issue, might be able to do it with a wobble bar, maybe. So I just went like that and prized it off, and it was really easy. There it is. I think you can see that. I'm probably not giving you a good shot of this. It came off real easy, just backwards and pop. So I won't be able to change gears. Just bear that in mind, nor will you. I'll pull the back one off, hopefully by hand. I already WD-40'd the thing. Probably no chance. There's two rubber bungs. I don't know if I'm capturing this, it's all kind of dark. Right, I don't know how well this is going to come out. I can't get much more light into this area. I'm trying my best. That's better. Right, so the end bolt, there is a little plastic thing that sticks on it with a cable. With this, see that cable there? Pull that off. Exposes one of the bolts. I've just gone and pushed the. I could not get this clutch cable bung off. I could not do it. I mean, I would be able to do it if I went at a funny angle. I'm going to try and do it because with the advantage of having the battery thing off, battery cover off, battery tray off. I think I might be able to do those. And they're only at 25 Newton meters. I think I might have the angle on them. Right, so see there, I've got an extension, a short normal 1/4 inch socket, 13 for that bolt, the big one, and the one on the right is actually only a 10. That one's much easier to get to. I've taken, I haven't taken this out, I've taken it out of the front here, and that's really easy to pop out. And there's my length of extension bar, wobble bar, and I think I can just put my 1/4 just there. It's going to turn nicely. Also, I used a what do you call it, an angled ring spanner. It kind of goes like that. I wonder if I got it. No, put it back. Goes, well, I'll show you. So I used not 12 but 13 one of these, and I went over from the top, wiggled my way around. Be careful, there's a sensor right there. Careful how you come from the top, because there is a sensor right there on top of that bolt. So you wiggle your way to the left of the cable with your 13, and I think I just broke the bolt using this, so I don't feel damaged. I just wiggled my way in there like that, and I broke it like that. Be careful, there's that cable, see that where I'm hitting it? There's a cable right there. Right, for the love of me, I cannot get this rear end of this clutch cable off. Look, there is a nut there that's in the way, the 10mm. I'm taking that off, and that should give me better access. Giving that bolt, that 10mm, that holds the clutch cable system in, a special white paint, so I don't forget. Because it's kind of out of the order, you know. Now there's just a hole down there, see it? No, it's just a hole. Okay, with that bolt, without that bolt there, get a much better angle on it. I thought I broke the bolt, apparently not. So, are you meant to be 25? What's going on? I'm not sure this quarter can do it. I'll snap something in a minute. Thought I broke the bolt. Let's try it using ring spanner again. Thought I broke it. Need something a bit meatier than that. Okay. Right, I broke that bolt at last. I'll show you my setup. So, one second, this is a real dirty job, this one. See that? Shallow socket, 3/4, not 3/4, 3/8. And I went, see that bolt there as well, undid that, so the whole mechanism is movable. Yeah, the whole gear shift mechanism is movable. It is attached somehow at the back with some sort of rubber bung. I've just left it. It was kind of shifting. Alright, okay, so that's that broke. I might stay with the 3/8 for the 10mm as well. It was not 25, believe me, it was more like 50 newton meters. Right, the rear one was equally the 10mm one was equally tough. So I nearly rounded it off. It's beginning to round off because I didn't get any good angle on it. But I switched to an angled ring spanner and it worked. When I cracked it open, I could fit the whole of this into the grooves and it broke. Right, for the bolt up below now, the 10mm where I use the ring spanner again. I can't do this one-handed, but it's the obvious bolt sticking out. I can't even shine my light on it. There you go. That is it. Left the wires there, so it dangles a bit. It's loose now. I'm not sure how this comes off, but I think it's to do with that nut there, where my middle finger's pointing to. I shall find out. I've taken off this 13mm nut there, and it's kind of, if you look, see that? Moves a bit. I wonder if I should have just cleaned it. And I think this nut holds something down as well. This one there looks like an 8. Right, as soon as I undid that 10mm nut, not 8, and I marked it as well. There's so many nuts that I've got. I kind of wiggled it and it kind of just moved. So it's kind of getting stuck on the threads. I think wiggle factor. These are the two terminals. You wiggle off and wiggle back on for the new one. Oh, I can't do it one-handed. As you wiggle it off, just got to be careful of the oxygen sensor on the exhaust. You know, you could unplug it. I just kind of wiggled my way around it, and I don't think I did any damage. There's the numbers on there, and they match. Should have done that before I bought it, but and I marked new means new, so I don't get confused. Make sure you clean the terminals on the car. The two bits sticking out, and on this alternator, you know what I mean, start motor, wide brush, WD-40 something, just in case. You never know, it could have been some crustiness that was the cause of my woes. You never know. I'm going to use the newer bolts. The old ones are pretty crusty. Alright, so that's pretty much it. There's so much to put back. I think because it's dead at night, I'm going to put this on, bolt it up, put the battery on. I'm going to leave the fuel pump off, not bolted on, and just lock the door and then do the rest tomorrow. Anyway, it's been a tough fix, and I hope this makes your fix of it easier, because we're out here to help each other, and we're all just trying to get back on the road. And I appreciate all the viewers and their comments and their likes. It's a tough job doing this. Or, you know, what would it cost if you took it to a garage? This job would probably be 1,500. The amount of work you've got to put in, at least 1,500. Right, okay, anyway, thanks for watching. One last thing, hit that like, and also when you go to prime the pump, when everything's back in, switch the electric on, leave it for 40 seconds before trying to depress the clutch and turning on the engine. So 40 seconds for it to prime. It primes itself apparently. There's no handheld pump or anything like that. Right, thanks for watching.